Hey, you guys, welcome to the Jezebel Way Tarot. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about twin flames. There's been some issues lately with the twin flame journey being categorized as toxic. So I just want to focus on what twin flames are. So let's start from the beginning. Twin flames are ascended souls who have reached a certain level of spirituality, okay? And what that means is that they have ascended to a plane of spirituality in which they were asked, okay, and many volunteered to come to the 3D plane, which is the planet Earth, in order to raise the vibration of humanity into better humanity, awaken humanity to the 3D matrix. So, number one, twin flames are ascended souls. So if you are a twin flame, you've been here before, you've been many places besides Earth before, many lifetimes. Okay, you could have been here on several occasions. So the twin flame journey, in part, number one, is a cosmic event. Okay, the twin flame journey, even though it takes place here on the 3D plane, is not a 3D relationship. Okay, twin flame journey is not a 3D relationship. Okay, so 3D rules, 3D ways of viewing relationships, 3D ways of engaging in relationship is not going to be applicable to the twin flame journey. Like I said, this is kind of a cosmic event. Even though it takes place on the planet Earth, okay, even though it takes place in the 3D plane, the twin flame journey is not a 3D relationship, okay? Now, the twin flame is spark of the divine, okay? And this spark of the divine splits off into two. And there's your twins, okay? The job of the twin is to find the other twin, okay? The job of the twin is to find the other twin. Now, how does that work? How does that happen, right? Well, twin flames vibrate on the same frequency, okay? That's how they know each other. You both vibrate at the same frequency. Everybody has their own signature, okay? Twin flames have the same signature. That's how they know each other. That's what the connection is, okay? They vibrate on the same frequency. So again, the twin flame relationship, the twin flame journey is not a 3D relationship. Now, on the twin flame journey, you come here, you agree to come here. Most of us do not remember that we've been here before. We don't remember we're possibly from somewhere else other than the earthly plane. We don't remember if we're from another planet or whatever, okay? We don't remember those things, okay? We come together, we activate each other, then we go on about our journey of awakening. An awakening is a spiritual journey. Now, an awakening can mean a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily mean woke, like how they're using now, woke to the system or whatever. In the twin flame world, an awakening is a spiritual awakening in which you understand that, oh, wait a minute, I have a purpose. I have a mission. This is my divine counterpart. Okay, now what are we supposed to be doing? There are road markers all along the twin flame journey, okay? One is activation, another one is awakening, another one may be dark night of the soul. It may be union. It may not be union. It may be telepathic communication. It may be feeling the feelings of your twin without explanation. There's a lot that goes into this twin flame journey other than this 3D relationship template that's trying to place itself on this twin flame journey, okay? Now, with an awakening, that's a spiritual acceleration. Okay, and a lot of times that happens during Dark Night of the Soul when you are releasing 3D paradigms, cultural paradigms, marriage idea paradigms, cultural beliefs, spiritual beliefs, beliefs that you were raised to believe in, okay, because that's the matrix, okay? It could mean a lot of things for a lot of different people. Dark Night of the Soul is sloughing off these issues of codependency, abandonment, validation, insecurities, you name it, okay? Trauma from childhood, whatever that triggers you. And that's what you'll experience in Dark Night of the Soul. Now, a spiritual acceleration will happen when you are awakened. Okay, when you come into contact with your twin flame and you're activated, you will begin to become awakened. Now, if you're not experiencing, and I've said this before in several of my videos, if you are not experiencing a spiritual acceleration on your twin flame journey, it's not anything that you have to do. Okay, you don't have to mix up potions. You don't have to write some words down. You don't have to, prostrate yourself and do the praying. A spiritual awakening will happen because you are a twin and because you have become activated. Okay? Spiritual acceleration is an expansion. It's an awareness. It's a development. And an expansion of spiritual gifts also. Because you are a twin, you do have gifts. Okay? If you are not having a spiritual acceleration with this journey, you may not be on a twin flame journey. Okay? That's one major road marker on this journey. Is a spiritual awakening and acceleration. And spiritual awakening can mean that you see through the matrix. Okay, this earth, that's the matrix, okay? You see through these social constructs that, are designed to lift others up and put others down. These social constructs that are unequal. The social constructs that mean that there's a man and a wife and children and a job and that's a social construct. That's a 3D social construct, okay? So again, the twin flame relationship is not a 3D relationship. It is a spiritual relationship. Now, I think the toxic elements that have been placed on this twin flame journey have to do with a 3D condition. Okay? They have to do with ego and expectation. They have to do with lack of self-love. They have to do with lack of unconditional love. They have to do with, again, the self. Okay? Now, there's good things about the self and there's bad things about the self, okay? Self-love, that's a good thing about the self. Unconditional love, loving someone without expectation, working on loving yourself first in order to be able to extend unconditional love to others is a good self thing, right? More toxic elements of that are ego based thinking, ego based loving, ego based living. And those come from a lack mentality. Okay, now on the twin flame journey, you will have to learn to let the ego die to itself. There is no room for ego in the twin flame journey. Okay, there is no room for expectation in the twin flame journey. And when you love someone with expectation, that is not unconditional love. That is an expectation. Okay, I expect to date you. I expect to marry you. I expect for us to have children. I expect for us to build a life. I expect for us to retire together. I expect for us to grow old together. Those are 3D expectations. And when one of you, okay, doesn't fulfill that expectation, that's the ego, okay? You have to learn to let go of that ego. Because your ego tells you you have the right to expect those things and that those things are okay to expect. Well, they are if you're in a 3D relationship, right? But again, the twin flame relationship is not a 3D relationship, okay? So you can't put 3D templates on a divine relationship that has a spiritual mission, okay? Twin flames come in all kinds of forms, okay? Twin flames aren't always man and woman. Twin flames aren't always romantic counterparts. Twin flames aren't always the same age, the same cultural background, the same religious belief, live in the same town, live in the same state. They may not date. They may not do any of the things that you would expect from a 3D relationship. Okay, because the purpose and the mission of the twin flame journey is a job for humanity, not for the self. It's not for the self. Now, do you have to go through your paces and learn and slough off and heal wounds and let the ego die and let your expectations go somewhere else? Yeah, you do. Because the twin flame journey is not a 3D relationship. So all of the 3D rules that you would normally apply to a 3D relationship, don't apply to the twin flame journey. So just want to make that really, really clear. Also want to talk about the fact that you agreed to come here. If you're a twin flame and you know you're a twin flame and you've been awakened, you've agreed to come and experience the human condition. Because the earth is like a school, okay? A school to learn karmic lesson, a school to learn the human condition. You agreed to experience certain things, you signed that contract or whatever, and you're here doing it, okay? You agreed, let's say you and your twin are male and female at this point. You agreed to come down and be the male and be the female. Okay, next time you agree to come, you could be the male and he could be the female. Next time you agree to come, he could be the brother, you could be the sister. I mean, it could go on and on and on, okay? There's a lot of variables here. The point of the matter is you agreed to come here to learn the human condition. I mean, how can you make the world a better place if you have no concept of the world, okay? If you have no concept of the human condition, you have no concept of ego and jealousy or, loss or, you don't have any concept of that, then how can you expect to better humanity or raise humanity up to a certain level? Because here's the other cosmic part about this thing, okay? This isn't about 3D relationship. This isn't about boyfriend, girlfriend, man, and wife. Okay, this is about raising up the earth, the 3D to meet the 5D, okay? This is about new earth. This is about the 3 waves of twins, of volunteers that come. There's a whole gamut involved in this twin flame relationship that has absolutely nothing to do with 3D relationships. So, you can't put 3D templates on relationships that have nothing to do with 3D. Okay? The other part I want to address is this abusive relationship connotation. Okay, people aren't here in this 3D, okay, on a twin flame journey, making up this twin flame idea to advocate abuse, advocate toxic behaviors, perpetuate more dysfunction, or to justify toxic and abusive relationships. It's quite the opposite, actually. You know, the most important thing about the twin flame journey is that you are here to eliminate those chains and barriers. You're here to eliminate the idea of toxicity, dysfunction, abuse, lack of love, a mentality of lack. Okay, so I want to say this. If your twin flame is abusing you physically or emotionally or in any other kind of way, guess what? That's not your twin flame. Okay, I'm going to say that again. If your twin flame is abusing you emotionally, physically, or in any other fashion, that is not your twin flame. Okay? You are your twin and they are you. You're two halves of a whole. So if you hurt your twin hurts you, you're hurting yourself. Okay? You're hurting yourself. So it's impossible for your twin to hurt you. It's not impossible for them to hurt you, you know, break your heart or, you know, make you feel sad. Okay, but I'm talking about real abuse. I'm not talking about, Sally, I'm not into blondes, okay? I'm in a brunette phase. Okay, so sorry, but I'm going to go chase that brunette over there. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about abuse, real abuse. Physical and emotional abuse, dysfunctional relationships. I'm not talking about, well, you know, I thought Tom was my twin, but I mean, you know, I can't even function and think and live because I'm so obsessed with Tom. Tom isn't your twin flame. Okay? Your twin flame can never deny you. I mean, they can pretend like they do, but they can't. Your twin flame, if they're abusive to you, they're not your twin flame. Okay? That's not how this works. Your twin flame here do they trigger you? Yeah, of course they do, because it's a necessity to learn lessons, okay? Conflict isn't always bad, people. Okay, it's not always bad. Conflict teaches us a lot about life. If you're triggered by your twin, they're triggering you on purpose because you have a job to do. You have something to learn. You have a tool in that instance that you need to pick up, put in your backpack or whatever, so you can carry it with you to your mission. Okay? So, I just want to say again, if you are in a relationship with someone and they are abusing you and hurting you, that is not your twin flame. Okay? You're not going to come home and kick yourself in the face, okay? And that's the way it works with twin. You're the same in a different body, in a different form. So if you're obsessed and you have this obsession, which it does happen, okay, and then like I said before, that's pre-programmed. You guys know my view on that. Then there's something calling you to lift up out of that obsession. You're being called to learn some sort of lesson within that obsession. Okay, so that you can learn that lesson and move up. Okay, so let's say, for example, the obsession comes in from an abandonment issue. Okay, you're afraid they're going to leave you, so you feel like if you hold on tighter, then they'll stay put. I mean, let's count about how many times that's worked in our lives. Those are lessons that you have to learn. Okay? Again, the twin flame relationship is not a 3D relationship. Okay, so these constructs of markers for insanity or markers for anxiety or dysfunction or whatever are just that. But don't apply them to a twin flame relationship, because that person simply hasn't been able to function. Don't blame that on the twin flame journey and the twin flame relationship. Because like I said, there's a whole cosmic thing to this twin flame journey. And nothing on the twin flame journey has a darn thing to do with abuse and toxicity and meanness to another person. If you're on a twin flame journey and you've become awakened, then there's no possible way that you know that that's not something that happens to an awakened soul, to an awakened being, to a high vibrating being. They don't exude abuse and hatefulness. If anything, the twin flame journey increases your capacity for love. It increases your capacity for love of yourself, unconditional love for your twin without expectation, and the love for humanity, the love for people. You become awakened, you develop more love for people. So the twin flame journey is doing just the opposite of what it's being accused of doing, okay? When you become an awakened soul, awakened again here in this plane, it's all about love, people. Understanding that that person's in pain doesn't mean you got to put up with their crap. But what it does mean is an understanding and a loving for that person because they're in pain. They don't know why they're in pain. That's what I'm talking about. Now, it doesn't mean that because you're unable to set healthy boundaries for relationships that you blame it on the twin flame journey. It doesn't mean that, you allow your twin flame just to treat you and do you any old way. No. And 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen because that person's not your twin. You have to set boundaries in order to learn self-love. Okay, so if you're unable to set healthy boundaries, don't blame it on the twin flame relationship and don't blame it on the twin flame journey. Because maybe for you, learning how to set healthy boundaries is part of your work that you have to do. Okay? If you're remaining in toxicity in a relationship, then you need to ask yourself why you're attracting that. Because like attracts like, okay? So maybe if you're going from one abusive relationship to another, you need to ask yourself why you're doing that. What is it that you are putting out there to attract that to your life and your energy field? What lesson are you not learning that you keep perpetuating the same cycle over and over again? That's a time to stop and reflect and take some time for yourself to be alone and to figure out why that keeps happening to you. If that keeps happening to you, do not blame that on the twin flame journey or a twin flame relationship. Because if, again, the person's hurting you, they're not your twin. Okay, they're not your twin. Now, can twins be egotistical and in denial and, project an image of, you're crazy? Yes, absolutely they can. All that means is that there's more work that needs to be done. And if you're triggered by your twin, it just means more lessons have to be learned, okay? But on the inside, it's not the same ballgame, okay? Separation is an illusion. No communication is an illusion. You have access to your twin anytime, here and here. Okay? You are connected. Now, whether you want to be connected or not, that's a different story. That's something you have to work out. That's part of the journey. But you are connected. Okay? Now, Abrahamic religion has no place in the twin flame journey. What I mean by that is, am I saying that because you believe in God, that has no place in the twin flame journey? No, that's not what I'm saying. Abrahamic religions are a 3D religion. They're a 3D construct. They're part of the matrix. And their design is to have you concerned with your 3D way of life and thinking. Okay, they are something that you get wrapped up in, a paradigm, in order to stay on that karmic wheel. And you're not ascending. Okay? Part of becoming awakened is to understand that Abrahamic religions are a part of the matrix. I have said that. Now, whether you choose to accept that or not, that's up to you. Okay, that's up to you. That's something you have to work through. Part of this journey and part of this job and this mission is to come here to accelerate humanity spiritually, to understand that there are things in this 3D plane that are designed for failure. They're designed to keep you from vibrating up. They're designed to keep you from ascending, or else none of us would be here. None of the 3 waves of volunteers would have ever been here. Okay, you can call them volunteers, divine counterparts, twin flames, whatever, it's the same thing. So please don't place Abrahamic religions on the twin flame journey as a roadmap and a go-to and a design template for the twin flame journey, because part of the awakening is to understand the falsehood in social constructs in the 3D Abrahamic religions. If you're a twin, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So don't compare and contrast, because you're comparing apples and oranges. Okay? Now, first thing you need to learn about the twin flame journey is you're going to have to wrap your mind around some things that are very foreign to you. You're going to have to wrap your mind around this cosmic condition, okay, this cosmic event that's the twin flame journey. Okay, you're going to have to wrap your mind around the fact that the twin flame journey is not an earthbound thing. Okay? It didn't originate on this planet. It's not necessarily subject to this. We just happen to be in this plane at this particular time for these particular reasons. Okay, so again, the twin flame journey goes way beyond the 3D relationship. Okay. Don't blame the twin flame for your personal exclusion from the world, okay? Don't blame the journey and don't blame the twin. Don't blame the twin because you're unable to create healthy boundaries, because you don't have any self-control, because you need to learn to have self-control. And there's a reason why you don't, and it's usually triggered by something else, okay? That's the whole point. Don't blame the twin flame journey and the twin because somebody's exhibiting toxic behaviors to you. Self-work, work out why it triggers you, learn it, own it, move on, level up. Because again, the twin flame journey is not about a 3D relationship. The twin flame journey is not self-serving. Okay, the twin flame journey is not self-serving. Okay, you love person A. You think person A is your twin flame. Person A doesn't respond to you. Person A is shutting you out. Person A doesn't want to engage with you. Could that be a twin flame? Well, yeah, it could be a twin flame. It could also just be somebody who isn't into you, okay? You will know if you were a twin flame. You will not have to guess. You will not have to, not have to take quizzes, okay? Am I a twin flame? Answer 1 through 10. You'll know if you're a twin flame. The twin flame journey is not self-serving. It does not have expectation. It is not 3D based. It is not from a place of ego. It is from a place of unconditional love, love of self, love of humanity, love of others, love of the twin. So it's a very difficult journey, and it's not for everyone. But if there are people who remain in toxic relationships, it's because there's something that they're doing to attract that. There's something that they're doing that they are attracted to that. And that is a condition, that is a human condition. That is a 3D condition. Okay? The whole point of the twin flame journey is about self-love, self-discovery, spiritual oneness with the divine. And guess what? The most important part of the twin flame journey is, guess what, people? The mission. Yeah, you have a job as a twin flame. Okay, it's not about love and romance and, star-crossed lovers. That's a 3D relationship, okay? Twin flame journey is about a mission. You have a job. Okay, you could be a healer, be a counselor, you could be a light worker of some kind. Most of us are. We just wake up one day and say, I'm a light worker. If you are a true twin flame, you won't wish this journey on your worst enemy. It's very difficult. And it would be very easy for most of us to fall back asleep again. But you know what? Once you've been awake, you never sleep quite the same again. Okay? Once you've become awakened to this journey, there is no going back. Okay? You know what you know what you know. So, because you've come into contact with a few people who have had some really toxic behaviors and exhibit toxicity themselves, does not mean that it's time to dump all over the twin flame journey. Especially if you're a self-proclaimed non-twin. Okay? This journey takes a lot of work. And it's a lot of work on the self. Most of the time, you're so busy working on yourself, you don't have time to be worried about what your twin's doing. And if you fall back into those toxic patterns of obsession or self-loathing or whatever it is, that means it's time to come back down to the ground. Do that work on yourself. If you're staying in that stuff and you're perpetuating that stuff, you're not doing the work. You're staying in obsession, or you're staying in unhappiness, and you're staying in a place of longing, you're staying in a place of expectation, you're not doing the self-work. You're not doing the spiritual work, period. End of story. So, if you're with a person who abuses you, okay, that's not your twin. That's a false twin. Like attracts like. Twins vibrate on the same frequency. That's how they find each other. That's how they know each other. They vibrate at the same frequency. Everybody has their own signature, okay? Your twin and you vibrate on the same level. Now, if you're attracting narcissists, or there are narcissists, now that's a 2D thing. That's not even a 3D thing. Okay, that's lower than that. That's a person who's not spiritually awakened. That's a person who is probably a victim of abuse in some way. Those are things they have to work out. They may have to have clinical help to do that, okay? I mean, that's probably something they'll have to do. But if they're abusing you, they're not your twin. Okay? Simply not your twin. If you're being drained by somebody on a continual basis, they're not your twin. Your twin is here to help you heal, to help you learn, to give you unconditional love, to recharge you. That's what your twin's here to do. They're not here to drain you and kick you in the head and be mean to you. That person isn't your twin. If you're not learning something from your twin, that person's not your twin. Okay, so let's not confuse the twin flame journey with an abuse journey. Okay? Let's not confuse the twin flame journey with a karmic relationship. Okay? Karmic relationships are where we learn our lessons, okay, our hard and fast lessons, okay? Karmic relationships oftentimes can be abusive relationships. They can be your relationships which you experience your physical or your emotional abuse. Karmic relationships are full of lessons, full of loss, full of this, full of that. You know, those are karmic relationships. Karmic relationships are self-serving. Karmic relationships are low vibrational. Okay? Again, the twin flame journey is not about a 3D relationship. It's all about self-love, relationship with self. Because what a twin flame journey does for you and what a twin flame does to you is bring you back to yourself. In the end, they bring you back to the love of self. They bring you back to the divine. They encourage you to look upward and onward. So, if you're trying to put 3D rules on a 5D relationship, then that's like expecting a chicken to swim in the sea. Just doesn't work. If you're a twin flame, you'll experience a spiritual awakening and an acceleration. And that's how you'll know. You'll experience things with your twin that you will never be able to experience with anybody else. And I'm not talking about codependency, addiction to that person. You know, you can become addicted to somebody, okay? That's not twin flames. That's karmic and it's toxic. And it's a matter of a codependent way of thinking and a fear of aloneness. So, your twin flame makes you better because you make you better. You heal each other. That's the design. Not hurt each other. Okay? If you're continuously being drained in a relationship, then you're not vibrating on the same frequency. That person's vibrating lower than you. You're vibrating lower than them. Okay, this isn't about sex and passion and desire and the need, the driving need. Okay, it's not it. Do you have a connection and a driving need toward your twin? Sure. You do. But it's not based in the 3D. It's not the same. There is a connection, an undeniable connection, yes. But it's generally because there's something that you've agreed to do together. Are most twins in union? I would say no. Are some twins in union? Yes. Are some twins married couples? Yeah, sure they are. Are some twins related? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are some twins 20, 30 years apart? Sure. Are some twins married? Uh-huh. But not to each other. Okay. So that's another element that, just because you and your twin are connected and you're married and they're married doesn't mean that's a license to cheat. Doesn't mean it's a license to do things that are going to lower your vibration and not exhibit love. Because the twin flame journey is based in love. So, I just wanted to clear some things up just in case, because there's been some talk about, having to work so hard to be in love with someone or whatever. You don't have to work hard with your twin. It's an automatic thing. Bam, like that. You don't have to work hard for them. You have to work hard for yourself. There is a journey, but it's a journey leaning toward the divine. So if your focus is on the relationship, then you're missing the point and you're missing the boat. Because again, the twin flame relationship is not a 3D relationship. If your focus is on the person and not the spiritual aspects of the journey, you're missing the point, you're missing the boat. So, I just wanted to clear that up, just in case there were any misconceptions about the twin flame journey. The twin flame journey did not originate here in the 3D plane, okay? This is a whole cosmic get-up, people. And part of the twin flame job is to bust through those boxes that the 3D tries to put us in. Try to bust through those paradigms and those cultural atrocities and those matrix traps, okay? That's part of the 3D. We're here to awaken people to their own spirituality, their own ascension, their own capability of knowing the divine on a very personal level. Okay, so, before you start throwing stuff around about twin flames and twin flame journeys, it might be best if you were actually a twin. You've actually been on a journey. Before you start criticizing those of us who are very deeply in the journey. I also want to tell you that it's no one's right to invalidate your feelings. If you feel like you're on a twin flame journey and know what you know, and it's a deep spiritual knowing that you have a connection to a person, no one can tell you that it's not what it is. Okay? No one has the right to invalidate that in you. I can't tell you you're a twin flame. Sally down the street can't tell you you're a twin flame. Mojo PhD over here can't tell you that you're a twin flame. You're not. And it's not a true thing and it doesn't exist. Don't allow anyone to invalidate you. Invalidate your journey, your feelings, whatever. If you're a twin, you will know. So thanks for listening. I hope you guys got something out of this. Just remember, twin flame journey, whole different universe, whole different set of rules.